Thank you. And thank all of you. I know it's been a long day. I wanted to start out this presentation with one question, and I want you to answer honestly. How many people in this room think that one person can change the landscape here in Vermont? And I mean the literal landscape or the economic landscape. So I don't want just a show of hands. I want voices. Use those lungs. Can we change the landscape? All right. VOBA created the Trailblazer Award 2 years ago to honor somebody who has changed the landscape. We really wanted to look for people who as individuals could lead teams of people and really make a significant difference in outdoor recreation and in our outdoor recreation economy. We ended up naming this award for Senator Patrick Leahy, who helped create hundreds of thousands of acres of land that we all use and recreate on. The following year, we were very honored to award this to Mark Sherman and Mike Donahue of Outdoor Gear Exchange, who really changed and disrupted the retail landscape and helped foster some very innovative programs that really promoted a sustainable, diverse, and equitable business here in Burlington. This year's recipient, Johannes von Trapp, literally changed the outdoor recreation landscape. In 1968, Johannes ordered some cross-country skis, hired a ski instructor from Norway, and opened what became the first cross-country ski area in America, the Trapp Family Lodge. At first, it was just a way to help fill some beds in his mother's lodge. But gradually, Johannes, who had a degree in forestry, began acquiring more land, began cutting more trails. And soon, the lodge, as we know it now, came to be basically a place people come to from all over the world, not just to stay, but also to play. And they were out there recreating, skiing, hiking, mountain biking on 2,600 acres and on more than 80 miles of trails. Since then, cross-country ski resorts have sprung up around the country, but few can claim that their trails also connect to a brewery and a beer hall, or run through pastures where cattle and sheep graze, or duck underneath some of the lines that they use for sugaring, and you can actually ski to a sugar house at the Trapp Family Lodge. There's a concert meadow. I think it's a real example of how outdoor recreation can work really well with other businesses, enhance them, and grow them. And since then, Johannes and his family, and it is with his family, there's now a second generation of Von Trapps, or third generation, or fourth generation, that are all helping to maintain this property. And they are welcoming visitors from all over the world. And just as they came here fleeing Austria in World War II, they've helped bring many, many people to Vermont and to enjoy our outdoor recreation landscape. So it's a great honor to have Johannes and some of his family members here today. And is Mark Sherman in the room? Great. I'd like Mark to present the Senator Patrick Leahy Trailblazer Award to Johannes von Trapp.
It's truly an honor, and we appreciate everything you've done and all that your entire facility, both natural and constructed, have done for the Vermont community and everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put it here. That's a gorgeous plaque. Thank you.
Mount Mansfield.
Great. How many words should I say?
As many as you feel.
About, I don't know how many years ago, quite a few, Vermont Business Magazine commissioned, I think, 5 internationally renowned economists to write a one-page summary of what they think Vermont should do for economic development. And I remember looking at them and not really reading most of them because they were full of economic jargon. But Kenneth Galbraith, who also had a home here, said, "Oh, it's very simple. Vermont's a great place to live. Vermont should be in the living business." And as it has turned out, Vermont is very much in the living business. The Governor Phil Hoff, four-term governor in the 60s, used to say that Vermont compared to the Northeast as Central Park does to Manhattan. And I think we've done a terrific job in Vermont of capitalizing on that and of providing people from the eastern megalopolis with the outdoor recreation that they seek and that they really need. A couple of comments that I'd like to make on the natural beauty of Vermont. It isn't totally natural. People have been living here for 300 years, and the Abnakis were here for many years before that. And there's a cultural landscape in Vermont that, to my mind, really makes the beauty of the state. It's the relationship between man and nature, which, by the way, is the title of the seminal book in the conservation movement written in the 1860s by George Perkins Marsh, who spoke 20 languages and was an ambassador. He was from the Woodstock area. And he traveled around the world, and he saw countries where erosion had eliminated fertility and other problems. And then looking back at Vermont, he saw some similar things that were just in the early stages. And he wrote this tome called Man and Nature. And it was really the start of and the inspiration for the conservation movement in the United States. But now there's a backlash, and we've gone, as things tend to do in democracies, you go from one extreme to the other, and then, if you're lucky, you end up in the middle at some point. This idea that we shouldn't cut any more trees, that the public forests should be left pristine. Well, they're not pristine. They've been logged for 200 years. You can't make them pristine again unless you wait a couple thousand years. Then natural succession will restore things. But we have a cultural landscape here that's the result of the impact of man on the land over several hundred years. And that's what's made the state so beautiful. When you drive up and down Route 100, the tapestry of farms in the bottomland and forests on the hillsides, it's riveting. It's so beautiful. So I'm concerned, and several people, you said that I had a degree in forestry. It's actually in forest ecology. And I'm concerned that this movement to leave it alone, don't touch it, is going to cause as much harm as the overly heavy logging did in the 1800s. We need to manage the forest land. We need to manage the fields and keep them in production. And that's the landscape that restores people's souls when they've been living in the city and come up here for recreation. So thank you very much for this award. I truly appreciate it. And this little model of Mount Mansfield will have an honored place in my study. I'm recently retired. I figured at 84 it was time. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Johannes.